Okay, let's see if that works. Let's see if that decides to work. If not, we've got a recording, so it's okay. It's all good. All right, participants, where are we? Groovy. All right, gang, we're gonna get started here. Let me switch this off. I'm gonna open the chat. I'm gonna open the participants. Where are the participants gone? So let me know in the chat that you can hear me and see the screen. That would be awesome. So let me know. Just give me a yes or a Y in the chat if you can see my screen and hear my voice. All right, Luliana, is that how you say it, Luliana? Cool. It's Lou and Lou. And I think Dawn will be joining us shortly so that we will add her as well. Cool. So let's give it another couple seconds and we'll dive in. That makes sense. I have to check one other thing here. Just bear with me for a moment. Video settings. Background filters. Hi, there's Dawn. Hi, Dawn. I'm going to unmute you. Ask to unmute. I'm going to make you a co-host.
Awesome.
There we go. You got your green screen background.
Let me get my virtual background here going, my little living room. Is
Nice.
anybody with us here, or are we just going Facebook?
Both Facebook and Zoom.
Okay.
So we're going to jump right in. Can you see my screen?
Let's see. Yes, rock and roll.
All right. We're going to plow through this thing and give value, value, value. Dawn and I do trainings, free trainings and webinars almost every Thursday, pretty much every Thursday at this time. So why not? I gave this presentation to a small corporate group earlier this week and I adapted it and I wanted to share it with you guys. Dawn and I wanted to let you know what we're happening. So here we are, back again. The Glitter Twins are back in business.
Glitter Twins, yay!
So yes.
You're looking like your picture again, too.
I know, I got my haircut finally.
Yeah, cool. I'm a little different. I'm a little,
That's cool.
blonde.
It's all good.
Same old Dawn now.
I'm recording, yes, recording. And I am streaming to Facebook, so that's kind of cool. I just did a live to Facebook and I had no audio earlier, so I don't know what the deal was with that. But if you guys can hear me, that we're gonna go through here. So anyway, has anybody been a little distracted lately? Has anybody had their attention pulled in 18 different directions? Right? I know I have, especially with the election and the pandemic and working from home and constant interruptions. Hold on, we'll let Rob.
Well, I got you on adding people, so
thank you.
Wonderful, welcome everybody.
Thanks for being here. Dawn and I are happy to see you. And today we're going to talk about some practical tips and for captivating distracted viewers, whether you're presenting live on Zoom, trying to get more video views on YouTube or Facebook Live. I know, right? We got homeschooling. There's Robin. And I mean, everything, just a gazillion distractions. So what we're going to talk about today is the problem of too much information. And as a marketer or online business owner, how do we cut through all that noise? We'll also talk a little bit about what digital overload means to you as someone who's trying to create content and courses and products and get them out to the public, and how we reach our peeps in this age of overwhelm. And we'll also talk about a few tools for better video engagement. So we'll talk live versus pre-recorded videos. We'll talk about keeping viewers involved during Zoom meetings. Dawn, I know you've been on meetings all day. This is like my third or fourth Zoom today, I think.
Oh yes, Zoom is where I live. That's why, the world, Zoom is not a company anymore. It's a verb.
I know.
A verb.
I'll Zoom you. I'll jump on a quick Zoom.
Yeah, and it's not, the company is not going anywhere.
So we're going to talk about best practices for live streaming, going live on Facebook, and finding your video sweet spot. So here's the deal, Dawn. Here's the stuff that I found. And you know I'm guilty of this because I have like 80 tabs open. The amount of time spent on media is now 13 hours and 35 minutes a day in the US. That's a lot. We check an average of 40 websites a day. Yeah, I'll vouch for that. We switch programs 36 times an hour. This is why I leave all my tabs open, Dawn. I have to jump back and forth. And we're totally zoomed out because with COVID, we're all working from home. And as much as we like to think we can multitask, 98% of the population is not equipped to concentrate on more than one thing at a time.
Yeah, right? I will tell you, I felt so overwhelmed yesterday. And what I did was, you know, I just cleaned my house. I put on some, you know, beautiful essential oils. And that was one, like I stepped away from the computer and made a positive impact in one aspect of my life. And I think that's the key too, to, you know, to just step out of the madness and do something, and self-care, right. Do something for yourself. Yeah,
exactly. So our media habits are changing. This is both a challenge and an opportunity, because think about it, if more people are spending more time online, they have more chance to see you and to find you and to buy from you. And this one's really kind of a joke slide, but I thought it was kind of funny. There is unprecedented use of the word unprecedented this year. Has anybody said unprecedented to you in the last 24 hours, Dawn?
Unprecedented.
I'm telling you. So we are in a state of digital overload, and LA Times media critic says you're not more informed, you're just numbed. We're just getting slammed with all this information. We're watching more shows.
Yeah, even just on our phones, you know, news articles.
Yeah. We're spending longer on social media. We're spending longer times on mobile apps. So in a way, it's just like, okay, there's just more. But how do you break through all that? And how do you get noticed? Because the internet is basically, as this guy says, an interruption system. So it's no surprise that we can't really, you know, break through. However, again, the good news is Facebook and YouTube are at record viewing levels. So that means more people are online. And if we're doing business online, you know, we have a better chance to reach people. Or as Shel Holtz says, attention is the currency of the information economy. So Dom, what sites, well, I'm showing you now, but what sites do you think are doing better because of COVID and worse because of COVID, besides the obvious? Right? We're all shopping online.
We're shopping, right? And we're CNNing, right? Especially with what has just happened, you know, with the election. Also, you know, people are home. There are millions and millions of more traders this year. You know, there's a website called Robinhood, and many people, and many of them are millennials, are now, you know, plugged into what's going on in the financial markets. So sites like Market Watch and you know, Yahoo Finance, and
yeah, I think unless you're in tourism or, you know, which is down 92%, there are opportunities in all the challenges here. So this guy wrote a book called Data Smog, David Schenk, and he says, in a glutted environment, the most difficult task is not getting one's message out, but finding a receptive audience. So how do you do that, Dawn? This is what you and I have been doing for the last 8 months. Well, we'll get into that, but first I want to talk about as a viewer or a user or a watcher of content, how do you survive digital overload? Can you limit your screen time? Or, you know, I know, Dawn, you know, there are certain times when you just go offline, like you said yesterday, right? You just said, I'm shutting it down and I'm going away from the computer.
Yeah, and even last week I took a you know, 24-hour period and did that and went and got a massage. You need to step away.
Exactly. So disrupt your routine, take time to get outside, maybe take a day trip. I know you went to Joshua Tree recently, Dawn. That's an awesome place to talk about getting away. Or consider a digital detox, right? You can set limits on your...
Tell us about that, Lou.
Okay, yeah, I will. I have a slide about that, as a matter of fact. So Turn off unnecessary notifications. I mean, oh my God, there's so many dings and sounds and pings and everything. It's just maddening. So what I try to do is, rather than staying glued to CNN all day like I was last week, I'll say, all right, you know what, I'll watch Chris Cuomo from 9 to 9:30, but that's it, you know. So take a walk, play a game with your family, try a new cooking recipe. I know you were doing some stuff offline yesterday. Create tech-free times and tech-free zones. So what I did is I did digital detox, and I went to this really cool company called getawaycabin.com. And they have these places all over the country where you can actually go and, you know, basically escape to nature. There's no Wi-Fi, there's no TV, there's no internet. So you're basically, you know, unplugged, which is really cool. In fact, I did one recently for just 24 hours, and you come out of there with such a clearer mind. So as a consumer, you can do that. As a content producer, as somebody who's creating products or services or courses, like I know Robin has some really awesome courses. How do you cut through the noise? How do you get noticed? There's so much stuff coming at us. You have to, and Dawn, we talk about this all the time with our clients, clarify your message, right?
Yeah.
It comes from that Donald Miller stuff. So talk a little bit about why it's so important to have a really clear message and a solid brand.
Yeah, and you know, I teach people how to navigate and profit by understanding the financial markets, and there are a million people out there that are advisors. Hey, learn this, learn that. But this week I took a little off time, and I really got to thinking, you know, what do my people really want? Mm-hmm. And what it came to me was they want to be able to write themselves a paycheck every week.
Yeah.
They need, you know, and I came up with the name of my program, which is Weekly Trading Paycheck. Says it all.
Yeah.
Right? And what they want to do is, yes, I have some working capital. I want to grow that working capital, but let's say I make $1,000 this week. I want to keep 500 in my account and pay myself 500. So I went from this person who was teaching people the financial markets to this person who was empowering people to write themselves a paycheck every week. So do you see the difference?
Yeah, it's a perspective shift. So that's the important thing, though. Once you figure out what you stand for and what your brand is, you really have to stay on message and be consistent, or as our pal Donald Miller says, be memorizable. So people have to be able to memorize. And I do the same thing, Don, because people know me as a video person. I do other stuff, but if I start talking about ghost writing or horseback riding, it's going to be a complete brand disconnect. And again, what I find is you have to be really relentless and persistent in your marketing and your messaging so people know exactly what you do. Or in other words, be a complexity reducer, not an information producer. Right. So don't add to the noise. So we talk about with our clients, solidifying your brand, how you want to be known in the world. Dawn and I are both Book Yourself Solid certified coaches. So part of the things we teach our clients as well is creating who and do what statements and taglines that really say exactly what you do. So do you want to talk about what the who and do what statement is essentially?
Yeah, so getting back to my example. So I help entrepreneurs. I help entrepreneurs in creating a consistent flow of income, right? Yep. So what is that for you? Lou and I, you know, we help people who are their own bosses to build followings online and take leads to prospects to clients, right? While they're sleeping, because the digital is doing the work for them. So, you know, what's your who and do what statement? And your tagline is something that's memorable. So, you know, my tagline around my weekly trading paycheck business is, it pays to be your own boss. Yep. It pays to be your own boss, right? Be your own boss. Be your own boss. Yes,
Yeah,
I
over and
like
over.
that. I want that. I want that. It pays, it pays because we're talking about paying the paycheck. So, and we'll work with you to create your one-liner.
Right. And one of the things that we run into is that people try to say everything and write a lot and include everything, whether it's in a video or a who and do what statement. They're very verbose. What was that other word that we were using? Pedantic.
Romantic. Oh my gosh.
Because the problem is we assume that readers or viewers are reading everything we write. And nothing could be further from the truth. We're skimming, we're looking at bullet points. So again, if you want to cut through the noise, if you're email marketing, you have to earn your way into your customer's inbox. You have to be consistent and stay in touch with your audience. And you can do a lot of that like Dawn and I do through automating. But if you're not consistent, if you say, oh, I put out a video every 3 months and I send an email maybe once or twice a month, that's probably not consistent enough to really get that message across. And I love this quote from Steve Martin: be so good they can't ignore you. So if your content is valuable and
I'm going to admit, Jackie. There you go.
And again, the easiest thing for the reader to do is to quit reading or viewing if we're talking about videos. That's the default. So you have to be able to use your outreach, your email, your video to make sure that you break through and give them a reason for sticking with you. And, Dawn and I tend to, use video as our fallback. I've been doing it for a long time, obviously, because it really is one of the best ways to break through the noise. It's really almost all we have now that we can't go to networking events and we can't go to conferences. It's the primary way to connect and engage. That was true before the pandemic, and it's even more so now. It's also the single most engaging tool to connect with your audience. People see you on screen, they relate to you. It builds know, like, and trust faster than anything else. You can do Facebook posts or blog posts till you're blue in the face, but there's nothing like video to get you to build know, like, and trust. And it accelerates the sales process, which is the cool part.
Oops, I would just jump in and say, I love the Maya Angelou quote, long after people forget what you've said or written, right? They're going to remember how you made them feel.
Exactly.
So video has this magical element around it that person who is with you over video, you may never have met them before, but they're going to feel like they know you, right? Because they spend time with you. They invested in, what it is that you put out there. And I've connected to so many amazing resources because I was so impressed with how they came across, on video and how I connected with them on video. So if you're not doing video, it's how do you make people feel?
Right. How do you make people feel? Exactly. So again, because I remember, I actually had the honor of seeing Maya Angelou speak at a conference many years ago. I can't tell you what she said, but I still remember 20 years later that I left that room like I was floating on a cloud, like I had the world at my fingertips, because that's how she made us feel. And again, I don't know exactly what she said. I can't remember that. I just remember how she made me feel. So how do we get through? What do we use? Zoom, obviously, sort of the must-have go-to software. Dawn and I use LOOM a lot for video outreach and video email, really effective. Soapbox, I'm going to show you all of these tools in a moment, but Soapbox is another free video tool. Facebook Live, obviously, I call that the low-hanging fruit because it's really, really easy to get started. And when I do Facebook Lives, I use StreamYard most of the time because it really enhances your live broadcasts. And the last tool I'll share with you and show you in a couple minutes is called OneStream Live, which has been really powerful because it's a way to take that one video you did and distribute it over and over again on several platforms at once. So it gives you a ton of visibility. Folks sometimes ask like, well, should I do live video or should I just do pre-recorded videos? And again, it depends on your goal. Live is a little bit more flexible, a little bit more casual. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, obviously. Pre-recorded gives you more control because you can edit and clean it up afterwards. So do you have a preference, Dawn, on doing live video versus pre-recorded?
I love live. I
Live?
love doing live, yeah. And if I do anything pre-recorded, like a course or some kind of instructional video, I often ask someone to be on that video with me, like a because I just feel it gives me more energy when I have that person with me virtually, stepping through the information. So energetically, I love live.
Live is awesome, and it's really relatively easy to do. And I do both. It depends on the goal that you're trying to use. But if you're just getting started, you've already got a really awesome video camera. If you have an iPhone or an Android or a cell phone that's more than 3 or 4 years old, your phone is your camera. I use Zoom to record videos, both live like this and pre-recorded. It's just like I can just open Zoom anytime and start the recording and just use it to record. Going live to Facebook, as Dawn mentioned, is really easy. Using Loom, for me, it's quicker to do a quick video email than to write an email. And again, your goals are going to dictate your tools. If you're trying to reach out to one person who hasn't opened your email, a video email could do the trick. If you're trying to reach a whole bunch of people online, then Facebook Live may be it. So your goals are going to be dictated by your tools that you use are going to depend on what your goals are, is what I'm trying to say. And again, there are a lot of things you can do, especially during the pandemic, like with Zoom chats or check-ins. Have you gone to any of these like, social hours, or like our friend Laura does Pitch and Prosecco every few weeks? So it doesn't have to be all business. Have you seen any examples of folks using, like I know your coach, Andy Dooley, uses TikTok a lot for that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, TikTok is amazing. And I haven't dipped my toe in the water to be a creator, but I'm watching the videos that people place out there, and they're short videos. And people are developing amazing followings.
Yeah, you can do Facebook Live anytime. I went live this morning for like 10 minutes just because I wanted to share something. You can use video email. You can do podcast interviews, video interviews. You can do a Zoom mastermind group, right?
Video on Instagram is amazing. I forget the name of the comedian. I follow him. He was on Will and Grace, and he's Southern. And he has created this crazy following, millions of people. And he'll just get on for a minute and just be fun.
Yeah. Awesome. And again, if you were doing physical events or retreats or things like that, obviously now those have to go online. Form live, things that used to be live events, even huge things like South by Southwest are going all virtual. So again, you can use Zoom, you can use Loom, you can use Facebook Live. It just depends. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It depends where is your audience and what are you trying to accomplish with them.
Yeah, just get out there and do it. I'm looking at Instagram right now. I just wanted to share this with you because, we have real estate clients.
Yep.
And here's I don't know if you could see it on the screen. Do you see this guy on the screen?
Yep.
Here? All right. So he's jumping up and he has this beautiful sky. I know him. His name is, he's Ryan Serhant. He's, the guy on $1 Million Listing.
Cool.
So what does he have? He's selling a penthouse, but he's not in there doing the traditional thing that real estate agents do.
Right.
He's doing a picture of him like jumping up into the sky with this view. So people can't help but stop to see this picture. And then he offers a link. He's talking about at 145 CPN condos. So I could just go right there and I can start following this condo project. So just using creative ways to get eyeballs and to connect people into seeing and experiencing what it is you want to show them and what it is you want to message to them.
Yep, exactly. And again, the great thing about live in Facebook Live is I was in Portland, Maine on the weekend, and I got basically caught in an impromptu, parade. And after they announced the election results, and people were going wild. So I'm like, I'm doing a Facebook Live. I'm going to share this in the moment and show people what the excitement's all about. So that's the beauty of live video. All I had to do is turn my iPhone on and start shooting what was going on around me.
So you become a reporter. You can be a reporter. If you ever had a dream to be a reporter on TV.
Everybody's a reporter and everybody's a network now.
Yeah.
So Zoom, obviously, you know, I mean, we're all using it. We know how flexible it is. We know how easy it is. One of the things that some people don't realize about Zoom is you can go live from Zoom to Facebook or YouTube, which we're doing right now, which is pretty cool. Now, if you are using Zoom a lot, there are a few, you know, some more obvious than other, a few tips to stay engaged with people. You want to look at the lens, the camera lens, and not the screen. You know, I don't want to be down here. If I'm broadcasting on Zoom, looking at a screen, I want to be looking at the camera. I want to keep the camera more or less at eye level so that if I'm looking straight ahead, the camera is seeing my eyes. You want to light from the front like we're doing, not from the back. You can engage your audience. I see. Robin, see, like we can take questions in chat and we can answer questions. Like, you know, Robin's didn't see Ryan because Dawn was showing it on her iPhone, whereas I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah.
Zoom says to involve your audience every 8 minutes. You can do that with a chat. You can say, hey, can everybody hear me okay? Anybody have any insights they want to share? Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, like what I would do right now is everybody who's on with us from a scale of 1 to 10, how distracted have you guys been over the past 2 weeks on a scale from 1 to 10? Tell us in the chat.
10 is the most distracted you can be.
Is the most. Tell us in the chat.
Yep, just write a 1 to 10.
Yes, Robin.
It says 9.
Ileana says a 9.
Oh my God, I know. And again, if we're doing like a body poll, is like Dawn just said, if on a scale of 1 to 10, so I'm using my hands and my images to be expressive and use body language. Those are the little things that you can do to keep people interested in. Now, Zoom is sort of a one-to-many for the most part. If I'm doing one-to-one, I tend to use LOOM. Dawn and I use this a lot.
LOOM, let me just say something about Zoom. If you do not have this right now, we set this up for our clients. It's easy for you to set this up. Get a URL and point it to your private room.
Right.
I have dawnwebinar.com.
I have LooWebinar.
Yes, LooWebinar.com. It makes it so easy. Hey, jump on my room, because I'm not going to remember that whole big long URL.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And to tell people, so it makes life so much easier. Hey, let's get on my Zoom. Just type in dawnwebinar.com and you know, in your URL bar, and I'll be right there.
Exactly.
So set that up for yourself.
That's
Let me know if you think that's a good idea. Tell me in the chat if you think that's a good idea.
And that's a good takeaway. It's like, it's very simple. You go to GoDaddy and buy, you know, Robin webinar or Liliana webinar or Liliana meeting, and you point that to your Zoom link, which is a very long, ugly number link. And now it's, you know, it's so much easier, I think, to remember dawnwebinar.com than just remember a big, long number. Right. So Zoom is great for one-to-many. Loom, I prefer for one-to-one. So if we're doing outreach, if we're doing quick little follow-ups to our clients, we tend to use Loom. And I love Loom because you can go into it and basically record your video. You're on screen. You can put in a call to action. You can see our friend Rob watch this video. You can send it via email. You can send it via Twitter. You can send it via Facebook. So there's very, very flexible, very, very affordable. I think it's $10 a month for the paid version, and they have a free version. So you can still create up to 100 videos for free. So Loom is a really good way to
I'm sorry, I love using Loom to do my training videos. Yeah. Because, you know, whatever, let's say you're stepping people through a workbook or through a worksheet and an exercise, you can record yourself with.
Yeah, like you're on the screen, just like this.
Right, and just like that. And then it's so easy because you could download it. You know, you don't have to go like in Zoom, you have to wait until it gets processed, and then just easier to deal with. So I like doing that.
Yep. Soapbox is another tool that's just like Loom. The only real difference is that you appear sort of on the side of the screen here. But still, if I'm going to talk about a sales page or a Facebook group, I can actually be on screen and show that page or that sales page at the same time. And again, most of these are pretty small, pretty short, I should say, short and sweet. So that's a really easy way to do it. Even Facebook Live, I think people think that Facebook Lives need to be 20 minutes or half an hour or really organized. Sometimes I just pop on Facebook Live and just go. It's so easy from your phone, from your desktop. You just select the live video option and you're good to go. If you want to turn your Facebook Live into, go ahead, Don.
Are you doing that on your personal account?
Yeah, yep, on my profile page, because I figure that's where I have the biggest reach. And again, if you want your Facebook Lives to be a little more professional or a little fancier, you can use something like StreamYard, which is a third-party app, and it allows you to go live to Facebook and YouTube, or Facebook profile and Facebook page at the same time. So you're getting double the reach or triple the reach because you're going to several outlets or platforms at once. So StreamYard is awesome because you can have guests, you can share your screen, you can have multiple people on screen, you can share links. So if I'm doing Facebook Live, I'll usually use something like StreamYard to enhance that broadcast and to make it more professional, so we can, both Dawn and I can be on screen and we can be talking about the screen share that we're doing. Then once that's over, I use a tool called OneStream Live, which I love because I can take that video that I just recorded and send it out to over 40 social media platforms simultaneously. Talk about reach and visibility. I don't even know what half these networks are, quite honestly, but I can take one video and send it to YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Instagram. I can send it to my Facebook page or my Facebook group. So when I do a video, I rebroadcast it or resend it out to all of these platforms at once. And I mean, it's like, okay, I did this little video that was 5 minutes called Dump the Duds, and I had it scheduled ahead of time to go out Friday, October 16th at 8 o'clock, whatever time it was. And it goes to all these locations at the same time automatically. So you're getting a ton of visibility from this one platform.
Talk about amplifying your message.
Really, exactly. So before we wrap up, I think a lot of people talk about an attention deficit economy, or how everybody said that they were 9 on the distraction scale, right? On a scale of 1 to 10.
I'm an 11.
So again, find your video sweet spot. What's the best video tool for you to reach your goals? You can use a combination of live and pre-recorded videos. One is not necessarily better than the other. It's just whatever you want to use and whatever your goals are. If you are using Zoom, try to keep people engaged by, giving shout outs like, hey, Laura's here, cool, great to see you. Polls, you can do polls on Zoom. You can share your screen, obviously. And again, try to use video to remain visible and relevant in this stay-at-home world where we can't do as much networking as we used to. So again, Zoom, Facebook Live, StreamYard, Loom, and OneStream. Those are the 5 tools we talked about. And because we're not selling anything on this other than, hey, if you want to work with Dawn and I, that would be awesome. But we have freebies for you. Dawn, I don't know if I talked to you about this, but if you have any freebies you want to offer later on in the next few days, I'm doing this freebie fest before Black Friday, when everybody's trying to sell stuff. I'm actually giving it away.
I do. I'll give you I'll give you something. Yeah.
Cool. And that way I can promote it and we can give people an opportunity to get some free stuff. So Freebie Fest is just a quick thing I came up for to say, you know what, let's offer value. Let's stay relevant. Let's give people a reason, like I said, to open our emails and watch our videos. And this is just one of the ways that we do it. And Dawn and I also work with a few clients at a time to help them get visibility, awareness. We build funnels, we build websites, we build businesses, really. So anything to add to that, Dawn, before we wrap it up?
No, I think we said a lot here. I would just encourage people to like take a deep breath
Mm-hmm.
and look at this past year, like look at 2020 and say, wow, the gift that I got from this year is now I know what I don't want in my life, right?
Right. Exactly.
What are the things I don't want? What doesn't feel good? And give yourself to permission to ask for what you want. Yeah,
Yes.
take action towards it, but let people who who know you, who love you, maybe people that you meet, understand what it is that you want, and you will receive contacts, you'll receive opportunities,
Mhm.
and just
I know. Yeah, I forgot to tell the story, Don, about how when I did that digital detox in
yeah, tell the story.
February, right when the
I love this
pandemic
story.
first hit, I was thinking, I don't really want to do this alone anymore. It's just lonely. It's hard. It's, I need a partner in crime. And I swear to God, as soon as I got back from that digital detox, Don and I reconnected after several years. And here we are now doing business together for 8 or 9 months now. So,
And we, like you and I, talk to each other every day. When I walk my dog in the morning, I call
mhm.
Lou, and my husband thinks we're having an affair.
From 3,000 miles away, that's a neat trick. So,
But yeah, just ask for what you want. You can create anything, and surround yourself with people that make you feel good. People who have the same values that you have. I'd love to hear from you in the chat what your values are. Like my values, I want to be around people who have a sense of humor. I love to laugh. I want to be around giving people, kind people, people who look at the world or look at their lives as a glass half full as opposed to half empty. So let us know in the chat, what are your values?
mhm.
Tell us, what you want to experience more of.
Yeah, especially looking towards 2021. It's like, all right, if we all survive this shit show of 2020, you know, there are better days ahead and better things ahead. So think about, like Don says, what do you want from your life and your business? And in some cases, they mix together. Like I don't even make the distinction anymore. It's just all out there. Um, so yeah. So and if there's anything Don or I can do to help you or support you on the journey, reach out to us at digibrand.online or hello@digibrand.online. Any closing thoughts, Don, before we wrap up our weekly check-in with folks? Thank you so much for being here. We'll create a recording of this in case you missed it. And remember, the best way to reach out and stay connected with people is just use, I mean, we don't have person to person as much anymore. So use video, use Zoom, use Loom, use all these tools to connect and engage your audience. And that's how you'll break through the clutter and be remembered.
Yeah,
Right?
that's right.
Thank you, Don. Always good to see you. I'll catch up with you this afternoon.
Got
With
it.
our
Okay.
clients, and have a great afternoon. We'll talk to you soon.